Well, hello everyone. Linda Reed-Enever, and welcome back to another Tips Tuesday session. This Tips Tuesday, we're delving in to the topic and the world of humour and humorous storytelling when it comes to our marketing. So I am keen to be sharing with you these tips and tricks along the way. And I'm just going to do a couple of little checks to make sure that we are live where we need to be on the channels, and we can get started from there. But it looks like we are all live, so that should be all good and we should be ready to go. Okie dokie. So today's topic is all about using humor in our marketing and when it's effective, when it's not so effective along the ways, and what we should do about it. Now, humor, it makes people laugh. It's an engagement. It is a form of engagement, which therefore makes it, a great opportunity for us to be able to tap into with our marketing. So it can be used, and it can be used well. But there are some concerns and some things that we need to make sure that we take into account when we're going through our journey of planning our humorous marketing content. So humor is powerful, as I said, from the point of view. So humor is a powerful tool when it comes to marketing. It can grab your audience's attention, it can create a positive association with your brand, and it can make your content more memorable. And by creating laughs, by creating chuckles, it gets those shares and it gets those little bits of engagement along the way that we're all looking for when we're creating our marketing. And humor, especially when it comes to marketing where you're doing storytelling along the way, it's able to allow your personality to shine through a little bit. And it allows people to be able to connect with you, the person, the human behind the brand a little bit along the way. So you're able to connect with you. So, it's why the algorithms pick smiling faces and all of those sorts of things when they're wanting to show things, or ugly faces. They're looking for expression and they're looking for emotion. And humor is one of those emotions that creates engagement. But when we're creating humorous content, when we're looking at putting humor into our marketing, and I'm sure you've seen this out there with other brands doing it, and we'll share some good examples of brands later on, but you've seen it out there where the humor's missed the mark. It's been offbeat. So what one person finds funny, another person may not find funny. So you want to make sure that when you're including humor in your marketing, and that's why we're diving into the do's and don'ts today, that we actually do look at making sure that we don't offend when we're putting our humorous content out there, and that the humor that we do use aligns with our brand and it aligns with our ethos and who we are as business owners, because there's no point in doing humorous marketing just because it's the latest trend or just because it's the latest trending topic. We want to make sure that the humorous content we're putting out there aligns, connects with us, and works with our brand, and it's not at the expense of others. So the do's of humorous content when it comes to marketing. So they're using humorous storytelling. We need to consider our target audience. And if we know our target audience really, really well, we've most probably got a bit of a feel about who they are, what they do, all those sorts of things. And one of the things that I talk about in my marketing using humor is my love for coffee. I love coffee. I am powered by coffee. And it's part that I know my target audience sort of just have a laugh as Linda picks up another cup of coffee or another sip of coffee along the way, runs through that. And I think if any of you are following me in COVID, I was thinking that McDonald's should sponsor me because of the amount of coffee that I was having here delivered along the way. We want to then make sure that we align, once we know what our target audience is, what their sense of humor they're looking for, and how we can connect without offending them. That's point number one. Number two is we want to make sure that the humor aligns with our brand. So, for example, business is one of our brands. Our motto is, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So we're not going to have humor in there that runs down other people or makes fun of other people. That's not going to be humor that aligns with our brand. But we might have humor that talks about, being overwhelmed as a business owner. Once again, my coffee drinking habit along the way, where it's poking a little bit of fun at me. It's inward poking fun rather than outward poking fun at other people along the way. So we want to make sure that it aligns with our brand values, that we reflect our brand's personality in the humor that we use, that our brand voice is used in there as well, and it fits with the overall messaging of the brand. And if humorous storytelling doesn't fit with that component of your brand, it's okay to show it and go, no, that's not the component that we're going to use in our marketing, because not every marketing strategy that you see needs to be used within your marketing. Okay, then we want to make sure that we're using humor to enhance our messages. And I've got lots of notes off to the side over here. I should most probably bring them a little more in screen so that I can see them. So we want to make sure that the humor that we use enhances our message. It doesn't detract from it. It enhances our message. So it might be, encouraging people to share by using humorous content that way. We might also want to maybe Yeah, rather than just using humor, sorry, but make sure that it enhances rather than just using humor for entertainment purposes. Because if we use humor for entertainment purposes and we're tracking that next trend or that next viral video, what we actually lose in that space is our messaging, because we go maybe viral for something that isn't in line with our brand or our business. So we want to make sure the humor, the fun that we include in our marketing is very, very relevant. Then we want to make sure that we're keeping it tasteful and relatable. So the humor that we're including in there is lighthearted. It possibly is inclusive. It brings them in on the joke. Like my coffee drinking habit is one of those examples. It brings them in on the joke. We want to avoid using offensive or derogatory content or controversial content, because using those controversial areas and content, while it may see a spike at one stage, it could also alienate part of your audience, and you don't want to do that as well. And then we want to test our humor, because as we go through the humorous storytelling in our marketing, we don't want to do a whole campaign, create a whole heap of content, put all the work in to find that humor falls flat. Okay, so we need to test it, and maybe you test it with some small group of trusted clients or a small group of your peers and see what the test is. Before you launch a full-scale humor storytelling campaign, you want to make sure that the testing is right, and you can do any adjustments along the way, because all marketing needs adjustments, and humorous marketing is no different. Okay, the don'ts of humorous marketing in your content. We want to avoid content that will offend. So we don't want to be offensive or use inappropriate humor. That we're talking about sexual-based humor, discriminative-based humor that puts other people down. It can damage your brand. That one word, that one post, that one mistake, and it will be a mistake, because I don't believe it's ever intentional with small business owners, can damage your brand and reputation. It can end you up being viral for all the wrong reasons. We don't want to stray too far from our brand's image. We've put a lot of work creating a brand, putting our business together, and we don't want our humor to stray too far from our brand's image. If you can include the humor as part of your brand images, like I even mentioned the coffee drinking thing, I'm coming back to that, but we mentioned that in my bio, what does coffee and marketing have in common, and that, if we go through those areas from there. But so make sure that you don't go too far away from the brand message, and also don't rely solely on humor. Remember that marketing campaigns should be effectively convey a message. If it's a completely funny, humorous campaign, that's all we're doing, and the message gets lost, then we've lost the point. We're no longer storytelling. We are storytelling for fun, but we're not storytelling and conveying the message of the campaign. Don't force humor. Okay, if you find it's really hard to create humorous storytelling content, then just don't do it. If you force it, you're more likely to make a mistake, because you're already under pressure. And that's the last thing we want to do when we're creating humorous content. And don't underestimate the power of research. Conduct thorough research to understand who that audience is. So going back to the first, do understand your target audience and the humor they want to respond to. Also, if you are doing something, make sure that you do the research about maybe what this could culturally offend someone along the way as well. The last thing you want to do is be cancelled, and we are in a culture of cancellation at the moment. So, okay, we've talked about the do's and the don'ts. Let's look at some brands that have effectively used, and brands you will know, hopefully, that have effectively used humor within their marketing and the campaigns. Now, Qantas uses humor in lots of different ways, and it uses emotion within their branding, and Qantas use humor and they use emotion in lots of their marketing campaigns. There we go. We just had a little bit of a stumble, but we're back now. And one of the most famous Qantas ads is the Plane Crazy ad that they did in 2017. And it was when people went and watched Australian people who were obsessed with watching planes. It was really heartwarming, and it helped, pull on those heartstrings, those emotions, create it, and people shared it. And it was a great campaign that Qantas did. So if you type in Plane Crazy into Google, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Bunnings Warehouse, you've seen the Bunnings ads. They work with real people. They include humor in their Bunnings ads. And we all know the Bunnings Warehouse song, don't we? We all, if I say Bunnings and you're an Australian, you can hear that Bunnings Warehouse song going round and round in your head. So back in 2018, Bunnings had people from all around the country, a group of Australian people, sing the Bunnings Warehouse song, and they just made some fun of it. We get the song get stuck in their head. They had lots of people singing the song, and it was a really, really clever campaign. So you can type in Bunnings Warehouse campaign and see that one in Google as well. Skittles is another one. They're known for playing and having fun with the, Eat the Rainbow campaigns. They've also bringing celebrities to have a little bit of fun with them, like Katy Perry, and they create ads that are both funny and relating to trending or popular culture, and they include humor in their marketing that way. Snickers, um, if you're not hungry when you're hungry, the Snickers one, Snickers bar, and you're somewhat not you. You're not you when you're hungry is the campaign. That's the one I'm trying to think of. You're not you when you're hungry, so you're a slightly different person or a different personality. But once you have your Snickers bar, you're all good. You're back on track and you're ready to go. And that's another good humorous-based campaign that's there. And then Aldi. Aldi have been talking about Aldi different. They've been doing great comparison ones. They've been doing price wars. In 2019, they did the Australians comparing ones. They've done the shop challenges, the non-Aldi converts to the Aldi converts, and they do that humor incredibly well inside their ad campaigns without managing to offend people along the way and helping people save budgets and that sort of stuff on their groceries. Okay, so let's wrap up this Chips Tuesday session with just some final tips on including humor in your marketing. And apologies, my phone is going off in the background. One, we need to understand our brand's personality and the personality of our audience and know our audience's sense of humor so that we can make sure that the campaigns that we are putting together are going to connect with them, not isolate or offend them along the way. We also want to make sure that if our brand's key traits and values are playful and serious, because if they're playful and fun, if they're serious, we might be going too far down the track and we might alienate our audience. We want to be original. We don't want to rehash old jokes and old sense of humor. We can, you can do part of that throughout the process, but be original. Bring what makes you guys funny, your brand funny, into the marketing element. Be tasteful. Even if you have a good sense of humor, it's important to be mindful of our audiences in this one. We don't want to cross any lines unintentionally, and we can quite often do that with our humorous content. So make sure you're running it and you're testing it past people and you're tasteful. And if your gut goes, maybe I'm crossing the line with this one, think that you are and pull it anyway. Don't be afraid to fail. You're going to create humorous campaigns. You're going to think they're absolutely funny and hilarious, but they fail with your audience. They either fall flat or along the way, you make a mistake, and you will make mistakes in marketing, regardless of whether you're trying to include humor or not. And the final tip that I can give you is, if in doubt, leave it out. It's always better to err on the side of caution than run a campaign that you think might offend someone or is pulling, your guts going, no, I shouldn't be doing that. You want to make sure that you leave it out if you're in doubt. Used strategically, used well, used in alignment with your brand, and done well, humor is a great way to being able to engage your audience. So I want you to take this challenge up today. Have a look at their marketing campaigns, watch the TV ads or the social media ads that come up tonight, and see where humor is being used and where you can maybe tap into it and use it within your marketing. If you're already using humor within your marketing, I'd love for you to let me know in the comments and let me know what has worked for you and your business. Until next week, this is the end of this Tips Tuesday session, and I'm going to give you a reminder to tune in at 1 o'clock next week, because we have our AppSumo roundup for AppSumo Day. It's going to be the first day of AppSumo Day. There are some amazing tools that we've been able to preview, and I'm looking forward to sharing them all with you in AppSumo Day next week. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.